Hi, Kianara here. Welcome to my life, my story, my life. Today I'm going to just tell a little story about the beginning of my life as far as I've been told by my parents. So um, I was born in London, in Dulwich, Barry Road. I was born at 7 months. I was £7 at 7:10, and I'm the seventh girl in the family. My mother didn't know she was pregnant with me until she was 3 months gone. So she was only we only had a 4 month um, internal relationship, if you know what I mean. And then I was born at home, feet first. This was a disaster for my mum. She hated the fact that, one, of course, she was pregnant without knowing, because she just previously had my sister Rosemary, who is almost a year older than I am, in the February of the year before. And of course, Rosie was a normal birth. She was a lovely girl. She still is a beautiful woman. But they didn't plan to have any more children. And there was I, hiding for 3 months, and then coming suddenly at 7 months, feet first, and £7. So I was a pound a month baby. So I was quite, £7 in 7 months is quite a big baby, really. Because if I kept on growing, I would have been £9 in 9 months, but that didn't happen. I decided, I needed to get out of here and get in here. Get out of there and get in here. So I came at 7 months at home, feet first. It did cause a lot of disruption for our lives, our as in my mother and myself, because it must have been a terrible experience for her, because she always said I was trying to kill her by coming at 7 months, feet first, at home. Anyone who knows about the birthing process, children come in feet first. First, it's an abnormality. It's not normal to come that way, because it's head first, apparently. But I disrupted the flow of life and I came feet first. And it really did make a difference coming feet first to my mother and I's relationship, because she kind of held it against me that I came feet first, because I imagine I must have caused her a lot of anguish and pain. And she always told me throughout my life, I never wanted you, I should have crossed my legs, and things like that parents would say on when they're having a bad day or they're upset with you or so. But those things stay with you. But thank God for wonderful dads, because my dad was a treasure, because it didn't matter what my mum said, because she would say, oh, you're your father's child, and my dad will tell me the opposite of what my mum would say. So my dad would always say, oh, you're beautiful, you're lovely, you're funny, and he always admired me. He always made it known that I was his little girl. He always looked after me. He not a day went by throughout my whole life that he ever smacked me. Never, ever, once. I can't say the same for my mum, but I suppose someone had to do the spanking. But my dad never. He never did. So my mum, even if she said, oh, just wait till your father got home, it really made no difference to my life. When my father got home, I know he'd listen to every side of the story, and then he would say, well, don't do it again. So I got away with it, and I wouldn't do things to get away with it. I would, if I did do anything, and he said that, I would try not to do it again. So there are stories that we need to tell. Of course, there's more detail to the story, but the story is, although you're not at the time the person your parent or parents wanted, because I wasn't wanted at that time, because they had just come from Grenada and come to London and trying to live, trying to have a home. It was in the time when, you know, there was notices on the windows of no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. So they had to live how they could live. And having children at that time wasn't easy on any of the parents. Whether you were, what doesn't matter what race you were, but for the parents that came to London, came to England, I'm sure it was much more difficult, because when they tell you the stories of how things were, you know it was difficult. You know they had a hard time, and then along comes this little one, and kind of just makes it a little bit harder at the time. But obviously I was meant to be here, and obviously you were meant to be here, regardless of what your birth story is. It was meant to be, otherwise it wouldn't be. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to share our stories. We're going to have a workshop where we come in and we share our stories. We'll have people there to help you to heal from the story, to speak to you through the story, so we can have emotional help about the story, and how and work through how it affected your life, and how it is affecting your life, and what is it we have to let go and take responsibility for as much as we can, and do some deep healing work, because when you think about it, it's actually a rejection when your parents say, you know, I didn't want you, or I wish I crossed my legs, or, you know, and even worse, or why didn't you die, or something like that. And a lot of us been told horrible things by our parents, because we have to look at it that they were suffering too. So some of the things they were saying was because they were hurt. And we have to kind of help them through their hurt, even if they're not here. Just understanding that they were hurt, and they didn't all do the best they could for us, but some of them did do the best they knew or could for us. So we're going to look into stories. We're going to look into birth stories. We're going to counsel you through birth stories. We're going to counsel you through the why and the how I got over it, and the how you can get over it, and the how we are moving on. So contact us. The information is below or somewhere around the screen. Contact us, and you'll get information below about the workshops that we're having, about the contact for one-to-ones, for small groups, webinars. It'll all be somewhere on the screen. Contact us and let us work together to heal each other together. Let us do this work together. Regardless of who you are, where you are, we can find a way to work it out together. Okay? Look after you. Love yourself first. Love someone else. Hug, smile, and be the best you can be every day. Bye bye. See you again. Bye.